Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I am here to share with you guys this kind of new to me planner, which is the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt. And so interestingly enough, I purchased this planner literally a year ago, but then I went digital and so I never used it. So for which case, I thought that it would be time to kind of break into it, and I'm just gonna spend hopefully just a short amount of time, a few minutes, sharing with you guys about the planner, and then my plan is to go set it up and plan with it and whatever, and then come back at a later date in the next couple days or week or whatever to kind of share with you guys how I'm actually using it. So that is what is going to be happening. Anyway, I purchased this planner literally a year ago, and then I decided that I was going to go digital because I got an iPad as a replacement for my laptop, and so I never got around to using it. But this is the Full Focus Planner, and I just kind of left it in the packaging how it came. So this stuff is probably old and whatnot, but yeah, this is some information about the company, and they have other types of planners and things of the sort. I think now they have journals. I think they were newer when I purchased the planner originally, but anyway, there is this little sleeve here and you can put the quarter and the year. So I am obsessed with this planner. Well, the aesthetics and the functionality of the planner. By obsessed, I mean I just literally love the way that it looks and how it functions, but I've never used it before, so I can't talk about that. Interestingly enough, when I purchased this last year, the day after, this company reached out to me about kind of talking about the planner and how just as it was a coincidence, but I'd never used it, so obviously I could not go forward with it, but I thought it was interesting because I had just purchased it under my actual name and not Shea Budget, so there was no way for them to know who I was. But yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So I'm just sharing with you that I really do love the planner, and I had I think joined their Facebook group. I had done a lot of research. I had watched all the videos. I was ready to get started. But anyway, this is how it looks when you open up. It has a cute little design, as you can see. And again, I'm really just gonna flip through it and just kind of talk about how I plan to use it. So there's a start here, contents. Now the paper is, while it's good quality paper, I can say that, and it's nice and thick. I don't know the actual pound of the paper, but it is nice and thick, but it is an off-white. So if off-white bothers you, then this, you know, these pages wouldn't be for you. I'm just saying that obviously because I don't know that I've ever used off-white paper in any of the planners that I've ever used. So that was something that was new, but I knew that before I purchased it and I was okay with it. So this is where you would put your annual goals, and then essentially there are so many of these goal detail pages where you would track or outline or detail your goals, whether they are an achievement goal or a habit goal. So for me, what I'm planning to do is write in some of my habit goals so I can track them, and then also some of my actual achievement goals. Now, because I'm using this in Q4, I don't plan to use this. I think I'm just gonna put in my quarterly goals. I have recently set my quarter 4 goals. So I think I'm just gonna put in my quarter 4 goals and just do it like that, because, you know, I'm already using this a little late into the year, and this is a quarterly planner if I have not mentioned that already, meaning that for the price of this, you're just gonna get 3 months worth of planning. It is undated, which is how I'm able to use it right now. So I do wanna keep that, you know, I do wanna share that. So if I'm being honest, it's a decent price for a quarterly planner. Like if you were to buy 4 of them for any given year, that's a lot of money considering, you know, I mean, I don't know, I've used probably 50 planners. You know what I'm saying? Like I have used a lot of planners, and this is the price of what I would pay for one planner for the entire year. But I purchased it anyway because I thought it was really nice and I was interested in it. And you know, this might be something that I can get behind, but I do want to make that clear that this is just a quarterly planner. I can't stress that enough, because obviously I don't think I've ever used a quarterly planner. Most planners that I purchase or have used are annual planners. But this is where you would do your monthly planning. And I think these little marks here are for habit tracking. I'm sorry, not the little marks. These little dots here, I think that is for habit tracking, but I'm not really quite sure. There are 2 strings here, 2 different colors, and my favorite part about it is that there is a band, which I love, and it's such a pretty band. I just love the color, I love the functionality of it. It looks like a journal. It has gold foil, which is my favorite. Y'all know me in gold foil. It's very simple. It doesn't have like some crazy icon on the front, something that I don't care for. I feel like this should be a sponsored video because at this point I'm really going into detail about this planner. But monthly planning, so there's 3 for your monthly calendar. And then there's even a place for rolling quarters. And so from what I've learned, this is basically for you to plan in the future. So if I'm using this for October, November, and December, the actual planner, then this section here would be for January, February, March, April, May, June. I would plan like a minimal type of planning. So I would just be writing in what's coming up in those months or in those next quarters, if that makes any sense. So, you know, January 18th, my friend's birthday, I would put Deidre's birthday. And then there is enough for a whole year. So you could be planning out what's coming up in the next quarters, considering this planner is only for 3 months at a time. Then there is a place for daily rituals. So morning, work day, startup, work day, shutdown, and evening. I, live by a weekend or Sunday routine. So I may I don't really care about a work day startup or shutdown, because a work day shutdown is essentially, I don't have routines for starting work and for shutting down work. So I may put in my Sunday routine there, but that's neither here nor there. Then there's a place for an ideal week, which is super cool. Monday through Sunday, and then it has 5 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30, so on and so forth, and it goes until 8:30 to 9. So you would kind of map out your ideal week, which I do that anyway, so I love that. Then there's a section for key projects and due dates and your weekly big 3. And then this is the first part of the planner. So this is, basically like page 1 essentially as it relates to daily planning. So this is a daily planner, and it's also a daily planning sheet, and then it has a notes sheet as well. And so this repeats every day. So you get a day and then a notes sheet, day, and then a note sheet, day, and then a note sheet, and then it just continues to repeat until the end of the week. And it does have I do love that there is a place for Saturday and Sunday, because some planners tend to put those together, which we do not love. And then there's a weekly preview. So you talk about your biggest wins from the previous week, after action review, what worked, what didn't, what will you keep, improve, start, or stop doing. And then this is setting you up for the upcoming week. I haven't done extensive research, but that is what I think is supposed to take place, because then you have this weekly section here where you can map out the week, and then also write in your weekly big 3 and break down those objectives. And then there's also a self-care planner where you can, obviously like a self-care section where you can map out some self-care and things to rejuvenate. So I do love this, and that's kind of what intrigued me. We all know that it's very rare. I don't know if Michael Hyatt and his team knows this, but it's very rare to find a planner that has a monthly section for monthly planning, a weekly section, and then daily pages. Like, that's honestly super unheard of, unless you were to get some type of customized planner, which we know is a real thing. But my only hesitancy is that it's just a 3-month planner. I like paying this much money for a 3-month planner. I don't know, we'll have to see what life brings for me. I love the planner enough, just the functionality of it, to do that. But I'm just saying, if I don't buy another one and use this all 2023, if this is the only planner that I use, then you know why. Okay, so that's pretty much it. It just repeats itself, and we get to the back here where we have a notes section, which starts here. So 289 to 303 is a nope. To 301 basically is a note section, and then we have an index, and then that's it. What I do love is that they put a pocket back here. I don't know if they know, if they did research on how that's essential if you're gonna have a bound planner like this. So I do love that, and for which case, that's why I brought out some accessories. So let's just flip to this page here, and we'll stay here, and I'll share with you some accessories that I brought out that I plan to use with this planner. So first of all, let's talk about the fact that I am gonna have to write in this planner with a pen, which is different because I've been using a digital planner. So that's gonna be new for me. But what I think, just based on the grain of this paper, which is honestly very smooth paper, I am thinking I am probably gonna be best served by using my Sharpie SGL in 0.7, or I do have a micron in 0.5. I also have basically every micron size also. So I could use that, and I'm hoping I can use this. This is my favorite. These pretty much work the same to me. This is a gel pen. This is more like a felt tip type of marker situation, but these two normally don't have any ghosting or shadowing, and so you can actually see some of the words through the page. So that means that there is some ghosting, if you will. So I haven't written on it, but I'm assuming if you can see the print on the other side, then you're probably gonna be able to see my print with a pen. So that's why I'm thinking the Sharpie SGL, which has virtually no ghosting in most planners, is gonna be a good fit, or this micron, which also, while a thicker, bolder type of pen, also typically doesn't have any ghosting or shadowing. So I will have to get back to you guys with that. And then I also brought out my clean color dot marker. I only have a gray one, but I was thinking, I don't think this might not look too good in here now that I think about it. So I may just use a pen in here and that be all. But because this is gray, I thought this might be a good compliment, but we'll have to see. But I did bring this out just, I don't know, I was thinking I could use it. Let's say if I'm gonna plan out the month of October, which I obviously am, I could use this color dot for different events and things like that. I don't know, I don't wanna put like pink, purple, green, a bunch of different colors in here, because that is not my vibe. I pretty much just write with one pen color or one marker color, unless I'm going, or highlighter, unless I'm going to use stickers, which I don't think stickers are going to work for this planner because it's bound and it would be super thick if I used, you know, if I use stickers. However, Fancy Budgeting does have these stickers, and I may use these to label the months or to number the months, because these stickers have a clear backing, and I think this might work, because otherwise I was just going to write in black ink in here anyway, and these are like the perfect size. So I think that is going to be the case. And then I also brought out this because if that is the case, I wanted to see how it would fit in here, and it fits well. So I could kind of leave these in here if I so desired. Anyway, I did bring out those. And then I brought out these. These I think are from 2022. So, or maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to see when these, I don't know. I may be able to use these. I was just thinking of using it as kind of like a bookmark, and I just put my, but I don't know. That's what I was thinking. There are a bunch of these in here, and there's one for each month. It's pretty thin. It has a back, so that was kind of my plan, but I don't really know. We'll have to see. And then I also brought out an Oli clip, which I think there was some debate about if these are pronounced Ollie or Oli, but I think that these are pronounced Oli. This is pretty beat up, but my hope is that, you know, it can just serve as a bookmark of some sort as well. Yeah, that could be a thing. Also brought out this paper clip, which I forgot where this paper clip is from, but it's kind of like pink and it matches the planner, and it says Virgo, if you're wondering what's happening there. And I think it has a symbol on the back. Yeah, it's super cute. I have a bunch of these. I think I have a black one, but I was thinking, you know, this could also be a look. Yeah, that's cute. See, that could be like my cute little thing. And then I also brought out a little bit of everything. So I have transparent sticky notes, which if I am going to use these sticky notes, I'd have to use a different pen because neither of those pens would work. I would need this pen, actually. I would need one of these, which this is the Uni pen in 01 for whatever that's worth. That shows up well on here, but it's so bold that it's probably going to bleed through the paper. So, you know, because these are clear, I might have to just have just a selection of different writing utensils. I also have some journaling cards and some sticky notes from Fancy Plans, and I don't know, I guess this is like my neutral little pack or something. I have some little stickers in here that I could use and keep in the back of the planner. You know, I just have a number of things that I may be using in this planner, and I have, what else? Some other sticky notes from Fancy Plans. Oh yeah, huh. I may use that. So this is actually, I didn't even think of that. This is actually a pen holder, but the thing is, the pen holder, I don't know what is up with this, but it's never been that thick, so it doesn't really, you know, you have to tussle with it to even, but I was thinking I could use that back here so I could have a pen holder, but maybe not. I don't know. But this is kind of like my getting started little situation. So I am probably going to spend time off camera setting up the planner, and then I will be back, like I said, at a later date to share with you guys how I have it set up. And yeah, that is going to be that. Okay, so I'm back. I just want to give an update regarding the planner and share with you guys essentially how I have set up the planner. I did make a number of mistakes, even after watching the Full Focus YouTube channel setup type videos on multiple occasions. So there's that, but I'm gonna share with you some pros and some cons and just my initial thoughts. So first of all, as we talked about before, the planner is bound in a way that most people who are really into planning would not agree with. However, I am okay with the binding. Obviously, there are a lot of different ways to bind a planner, and typically people gravitate towards ways that allow for more flexibility to remove and add pages and all of that. But again, I have used planners like this before, so I am honestly okay with it. So I have my paper clip here, and then I also have my Oli clip, which we will talk about, and then that's just kind of how it is looking. These pieces of thread here have never really intrigued me in any type of planner, so I am using them, but I don't naturally gravitate towards them. I naturally gravitate towards finding my place in my planner using paper clips. So that is what we have set up. Love the color, super obsessed. Love the gold foil, super obsessed. Love the minimal look, super obsessed, because I really don't like crazy icons and whatnot on planners. This is so chic, and I did go with the leather cover, by the way. Even though this one is $50, I did go with a leather planner because I thought that it would be easier to kind of keep clean and all of that over the linen cover. So that's kind of what prompted me to go with this, if I did not mention that before. And so, what has taken place? Okay, let's just talk. So I set up the front cover page, which has my information on it, of course. And then I opted to put our annual goals here only because I feel as though, I don't know, I just feel like as I'm starting this planner in Q4, like I could have put the annual goals here, or I could have put the quarterly goals here, like I mentioned. So I opted to put I put the annual goals here, and then I put the quarterly goals where the annual goals would have typically gone. I guess that's how you do that. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to share with you some of my social goals. So I have to host an in-home event for family and friends, and to go on monthly friend dates. And these are achievement goals. They're social goals. I put some key motivations here, which are essentially the same. Some next steps for making this happen and making this happen. And then what my reward would be, which the smiley face essentially just stands for happiness. And then there is a streak tracker down here, which I'm not using because this is not a habit goal. So I did fill out all of these sheets. Like I mentioned before, I guess I mentioned this before, I filled out every single sheet with one of my goals being a habit goal. So let me show you what's next after all the goals. We have here the monthly calendar, and oh, I was gonna put like some cute little October stickers on here to kind of make it more fall-esque, but I will get to that at a later date. Anyway, this is my October 2022 monthly calendar. I have some major projects over here and some bleed through. Oh, that's what we have to talk about. So the color. The color is very much an off-white, but it is very reminiscent of your average, I think it looks like a book. I think the color resembles that of an actual book, but definitely that of a journal. So if off-white isn't your thing, then obviously this planner won't be your thing, but I am okay with the off-white color. Now, as far as the paper quality, you already know it's not as thick as some of the other types of paper out there, because you can see from one page to the next, you can see shadowing just from the ink on the paper, not even the ink that you add. So you already know the paper quality is not going to be as high end as some of the other planners out there just by seeing that. So with that in mind, when you actually add your own ink, it's likely going to be a little shadowing or bleed through, but I only found bleed through with this color dot marker when I was pressing down, because that's how you make those dots. That's how I got the bleed through. Otherwise, it was just a little shadowing, which is to be expected because I opted to use the Sharpie S Gel, and so we all know that there's not a lot of shadowing with this particular gel pen, which is great because it's a gel pen. But anyway, I set up my habit tracker key here, and so each day I'm going to be marking or checking off habits, and this is a key because I know what each one of these stands for. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 habits that I am tracking, and I just made my own little answer key there, so that's how I'm doing it. Another way to do it, well, I thought about coloring in each square with a highlighter of a different color, but then I'd have to keep all those highlighters on me, and then also I would increase the risk of there being a lot of bleed through, which would just not be cute. So I'm just gonna keep it simple with a light, gentle mark through. Also, another option is to do a square to highlight the different habits. Just with like this particular, this is kind of like a marker situation. So that's an option, but this is what I opted to do. And then I just put in here my YouTube videos, any major events, mini meetings and stuff, the same type of stuff that I put on any monthly calendar. I transfer it over here, and like I said, I put some major projects that I would like to get done there. So this is gonna be November and December, but I have not filled out those yet. Now let's talk about these. Ooh, my paper clip just flew away. Now let's talk about these rolling quarters. I did do Q1 and Q2, but the fact of the matter is I don't really see the point of doing this at this point because I use a Google Calendar. And so if I were strictly a paper planner, doing all the rolling quarters would make sense, but I don't really see the point of doing anything beyond Q2 in 2023. So that is what I have done. But like I said, I don't even know if there's any real point of doing that because I pre-plan with Google Calendar. But moving on, I have my daily rituals. I did do a morning ritual and an evening ritual, which I do have, and I estimated the time, which is fun because I'd never done that before. And then I put a work day shut down, and start up, which those are non-factors. I did go ahead and fill them out and just estimate how long it takes me to start up and shut down. But as far as I'm concerned, like, I don't really know. This isn't really relevant because, I mean, if I go to work, then I just do my routines. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was cool to kind of see what the times would be. But furthermore, I did do my ideal week, and I spilt a drop of water on it, so now we have smearing. But I did my ideal week, which we all know that this is my ideal week. And then Saturdays and Sundays are spent doing whatever the heck I want to do, whatever the heck we want to do. So I don't really have an ideal routine for Saturday and Sunday. It's literally whatever takes place. But I do have a routine for Monday through Friday, because if I kind of complete this, then essentially I don't really have to do much on the weekends. Like, if I were to side hustle every day all week for at least an hour, likely I could get all of my, you know, side hustle type stuff taken care of, and I wouldn't have to do any on the weekend. Or if I worked out 4 days a week, I wouldn't really see the point in, like, I could work out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it wouldn't be I wouldn't stress it as much because I would have worked out 4 days per week, which is pretty good if you ask me. But anyway, this is my ideal week. I did go ahead and fill out that, which has been my ideal week for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. I do have some key projects here, and I broke them up by personal, business, and work. And this is just gonna be for a quarter, so, you know, not that much. Now, this is where it gets tricky. I think that I messed up this. So I put my weekly big 3 for the first week in October, and then this was the first day that I planned, and all was going well until I got to, oh, by the way, let's talk about these notes. So when I bought this planner, I bought it with the intention that going into my new job, which is the job that I'm working, I would actually maybe be doing a lot of note taking. Turns out I don't do a lot of note taking. While I do attend a lot of meetings, I don't actually take a lot of notes, because most of these meetings, none of these meetings are called by me. I don't actually host or hold any meetings. These are normally like sped teachers and principals and stuff holding these meetings, and I'm just there to essentially provide feedback. I don't really serve any other purpose in the meetings outside of providing some education and some feedback, which normally doesn't require me to take notes. If anything, maybe someone else. So I haven't used a single note sheet is what I'm trying to say. I am and have adopted this little key down here, but for here I checked off everything is done, but I do use this key, or I did go on to start using the key. But where I think it got tricky is that once I got here, I still can't decide if this is for the upcoming week or the past week, because there's no one at the front of the planner when the planner starts, like there's not one before Monday. I just assumed it went with, you know, this went together like as one week, but I don't think it does. I think this is for the week ahead, because on Sunday we have a weekly preview where you talk about your wins from the previous week. Got that. You talk about your big three, which I did put my big three here. And then you talk about what worked, what didn't, what you're gonna keep, improve, start, or stop. And then you do a list sweep to go through and look at the different tasks and whatnot to see what still needs to get done, essentially. And then you have a weekly overview where you talk about the upcoming important dates and events and deadlines. Got that, that makes sense. But then you have professional, personal stuff, and then I don't know, because this is split up, it was confusing for me. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure this goes with the upcoming week and I used it for the previous week. So now I'm off a week, and so I have to wait until week 3, I think, when I can get caught up, because I'm just not gonna use this for one particular week so I can get back recalibrated. But yeah, it was just confusing for me because it's here, like in the middle of this weekly preview. I don't know, it's just a strange place for me. I guess in a perfect world, this would be at the beginning. One would be at the beginning of the planner, and then as far as I'm concerned, I don't know why maybe the weekly, why this isn't set up a different way, but that's neither here nor there. But anywho, let's move along. Is that all? Actually, that is all. That's all that I have for this planner. I'm gonna keep using it. I did put some stickers back here for the monthly spread. I did opt to use these fancy budgeting stickers, and of course I'll use these for what's next, November and December. And then I just have some of these stickers. I think these are from Little Miss Fancy Plans, which I think is just called Fancy Plans now. And then I have some cloth and paper transparent color stickers. I thought I had another set. Yeah, I do. So I have these. I won't be using these a whole ton, but because they're a nice little neutral shade, I felt like it would match the palette well, and I could use those if I really wanted to, like, maybe ditch the highlighter for a week or really try to highlight a certain event or task so that it can stand out. But I think that's pretty much all that I have to share. I'm going back to this Sunday here just to look. I have been doing my big 3, and then I repeat those 2 because my big 3 normally are tasks to get completed, which is obvious, but I don't know, I just put them in both sections. I guess you could just put them in one section, like just put your big 3 up here and don't repeat the tasks. But in my head, if I put the tasks down here as well and I need to delegate the task, or not that that actually happens, or defer the task to another day, I could just key it in as defer, and then, you know, that will help to catch my eye if I do defer, because I don't have a lot of defers in here anyway. But that is pretty much it. The date I write in, then I do the tasks, and then I have been highlighting the events and tasks that are time sensitive. One thing that is weird to me too is that I don't really know where, like as an example, this is 6 o'clock. So I don't know where you would write in your 6 o'clock event. Do you write it above this line, or I don't know how this works. So yeah, let's say something is at 6 o'clock. Do I write it here, which is above this line, which is at 6 o'clock? Or is this supposed to be 6:30? I think that's how it works. I assume this is 5:30. No, I assume this is 5:30, 6:37. So I'll figure that out moving forward. I've just been typically just writing somewhere in that area and then putting the time anyway. So it really doesn't matter a whole ton, but I think that's how it probably should work. This 12 o'clock is probably to be written here, but wouldn't it make sense for the 12 to be here? I don't know, that could just be me. But this is my planner and I'm just gonna show you guys how I wrap it up. So I like to put my, oh, I lost my Oli clip. Never mind, we're just gonna end it. I gotta go dumpster diving for my Oli clip because I have no idea where it is. So we're just gonna end the video here. So this is my setup for my full focus planner. If I do use this in the new year, I definitely welcome the idea because now I know what the heck I am doing. And so this was kind of like a trial period. So if I do continue to use this planner, I will know how to set it up, and I'm excited to use it actually for an entire year. If I do use the planner, like that excites me to use it for an entire year. So we will have to see. Anyway, that is gonna be it for this video, you guys. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.